Hi everyone, and welcome to Monday Night Stamping. My name is Lillian and I am with Stampers Niche, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator living in Alberta, Canada, and I love to help you unlock all of your crafting potential. So thank you for joining me. If you come on here often, say hi. If you're new, say hi. Greet each other. This is a good place to make connections with others who enjoy the same activity that you do. But make sure you say hi to everyone, and I see people jumping on. I'm so glad about that. All right. I posted, I don't know what you call it, a post last night about Barbie pinks. What the pinks that Stampin' Up! Carries and what would be Barbie pinks. And I love the interaction that I was getting because, after all, the whole Barbie phenomena has taken right off, hasn't it? So I'm going to ask you to sort of piggyback on that as I go down to my desktop and share what Stampin' Up! Pink you think, or pinks, it could be more than one, that are Barbie pinks. And have you seen the show, or are you going to see it? So those are a couple of questions that you can answer as I'm going down to my desktop. Just here we go. There, we'll cover that up so you don't get seasick. And oh, so good to see so many of you here tonight. Excellent. A thunderstorm just rolled through, and then now the sun is shining. I love how differently things can change here at a moment's notice. So, alrighty, something's happening here. Oops, oh dear. Let's see if we went sideways here. I pressed a button, I should never do that, and went sideways on my phone screen, but there, oh, we're back to normal. There you go. Always a little bit exciting here. So I'm going to share this to my group page because some people like to watch it there. So while I'm doing that, feel free to share this on your social media feeds as well. And that would be absolutely super. That makes it all the more better for me, and plus we can share this experience with other people. So some people are gung-ho about the Barbie movie, some are not. I have to admit, when I watched the trailers, I thought, no, not going to go watch that. It doesn't interest me. And now I've been hearing so many good things. So I guess, you can't judge a book by its cover kind of thing. You kind of have to make your own decision on that. So if we do go, I'll let you know what I think. So here are what I consider the Stampin' Up! Pink colors, these ones here. And I'm just wondering what ones you think would be more Barbie-ish. Okay, and while you're writing your answers in, I am going to just talk about a couple of things, and then we're going to come back to those pinks. First off, today is the last day of July, if you can believe it. And I forgot to change this. I will have to post something different there. Let me just put something over that because that hostess code is finished. And I forgot to change that. There we go. So this is the last day of July. So it is the very last day that you can earn bonus points or bonus coupons. And bonus coupons are $6 each, and you can use them in August. So it's a good way to supplement your spending in August if you want. So just a heads up, if you want to take part in that, tonight's the last night, and you can go to my website and take part there. So the other thing is my One Horse Open Sleigh Designer Series paper class has had a huge response, and it closed yesterday, but I've had several people ask me if I can keep it open for if they can still register. So I'm going to extend it by 2 days till Wednesday. So the people that register now, if they order the product, the class kit, the kit will ship just a little bit later to these people. But here is the link, bit.ly/LK one horse open sleigh, and that will give you all kinds of information about it. So there's a way you can find out about it, and huge response to that. I'm so excited. So this bonus days is ending. What is starting tomorrow? Because tomorrow is August 1st. Well, one of the big things that is starting tomorrow is the kits are up to 30% off. Now, I don't know if you've ever played with any of the kits. They just keep getting better and better. And you can see them by going to my online exclusives, and you'll see them all. When I traveled in Europe, I took some kits with me, and one I made with the grandkids, and one I made with my daughter-in-law. The one kit that has the birthday card organizer, I have made those and given them away. They are perfect if you're wanting to gift what we call an experience. So lots of people are really into enjoying an experience rather than having, I don't know, new socks or whatever. So this is a good way to provide an experience, whether it's with girlfriends, family members, or for yourself. It's all good. Plus, tomorrow, August 1st, a new kit is going to be added. So there'll be even an extra kit. And I've seen the early release from Australia, New Zealand, and some of the ones that are a day ahead of us. And let's just say the word festive is in the name of the kit, and the word tags is in the name of the kit. So just be aware that that is happening, and you might want to be taking advantage of it. You can get some Christmas shopping done early and save some money to boot. All right, so we're back looking at these pinks. So I thought tonight, since everybody was on a Barbie kick, it was time for me to make a pink card. So I looked through these and I chose Bubble Bath. And Bubble Bath looks really good with Melon Mambo. But then when I chose my designer paper, I switched to Berry Burst because Berry Burst was in my designer paper. So we're going to use these two colors here. This will be the featured color though. So that was why I changed from Melon Mambo to Berry Burst. You know, you work with what you've got. Have you ever bought a new outfit to go with, say, a new scarf or a new belt or something? I'm guilty as charged. So we're starting with Bubble Bath, and it's 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. So it's scored in half, just like that. And we're going to use our bone folder, burnish that fold, and we have got our card base. There we go. So we'll put that to the side. And then we're going to bring in Berry Burst. That is 4 by 5 1/4. And I've got a second one that I'm going to put on the inside. So we've got this 4 by 5 1/4. And then we've got a piece of basic white that is 3 3/4 by 5. And I've got an extra one for the inside as well. So this is what I'm going to show you tonight is a very basic card layout that you can use so many different ways. So I'm just going to lay it together to begin with. And I chose to use the, Bright and Beautiful designer paper, the one with the balloons. And this piece is 1 1/4 by 5, and it's going to go down, roughly the middle. Doesn't have to be rocket science. So that was 1 1/2 by 5. Then I have another 1 1/2 piece by 3 1/2. And remember, all these measurements will be in Thursday's newsletter. So make sure you subscribe. And we can put it about there. And already it's starting to look pretty neat. And then we're going to bring in a piece of vellum that's 2 by 2 1/2. And put it here, and then we're going to put a greeting on top of that. So really the pieces are layers here and then these. Now we're going to use it this way, but what if you took those same layers, rotated the card to the landscape, and we put this down the middle again. So now you can say, okay, I might put this here, and I might put this over here. And you can see you've got your same basic layout. You've just rotated it sideways. You've got a whole new look. So don't be afraid to do that with your card layouts. It's a good thing to do and to play around with, and you don't have to reinvent the wheel that way. So first off, I'm going to do a little cheat. I want to do my stamping on here and cut it out because this is going to be hidden. No one's going to know that I did that. So I'm going to bring in my, oh, I forget what to call it, but I did mark it because I wanted to show you this. It's the Embossing Editions Toolkit. So it's on page, let me just slide this around, page 136, and you can see the picture up here, right there. So it is called the Embossing Editions Toolkit, and I just use this all the time for so many different reasons. So in the kit, you get this little tray which catches all kinds of messes, and it isn't just for embossing. It can be all kinds of other things. You get an embossing buddy. You get a brush to brush things out. You get these tweezers, which I think are the best tweezers I've ever used. And the thing about this, say you had beads in here or something like that, or you ended up with embossing powder in here, you can undo this and it's just an opening. So this works like a funnel and everything pours out. So it's great for working with lots of loose things that you want to kind of corral and not have going all over your desk. How we're going to use it tonight is we're going to use the Embossing Buddy. Now, I thought this was a festive type of card, but I didn't want to be totally locked into birthday. I wanted to have options. So I went with the Waves of Inspiration set. I went through my sets, and I'm going to use this stamp here. You're so totally awesome. So inside I can put congratulations, I can put birthday, I can put whatever. So that gives me options, and I like to do that quite often. So now I'm using Versamark ink, which is a clear ink for those of you who aren't used to this. And I'm going to ink it up, and I'm going to stamp in the middle. And the reason I used my Embossing Buddy is so that when I put the powder on, and you'll see me do that in just a minute, it'll only stick to where the ink is, which is kind of sticky, and it won't stick elsewhere. So let's bring this in here, and we'll bring in the embossing powder. So white embossing powder comes with the Basics collection. You get a nice variety. I changed spoons here. I'll see if I like these little spoons or not. And I sprinkle the embossing powder on top and tap it off. And see, now you see I've got a little bit there, so I'm going to bring in my brush and just get those little specks out of the way. And now I can put this out of the way, use my tweezers to hang on to this, move this and that. And I'm going to bring in my heat tool. Now what the heat tool is going to do, besides make a lot of noise, it's going to melt that powder. So it's going to be melted, it'll be shiny and raised a little bit. And it takes a minute for the heat tool to heat up. Once it's heated up, it goes very, very quickly. And you can see it start to change. Now I hope you can see it changing. I can really see it changing. There. And I like to hold it in one spot till it changes and then move it. Some people like to go like this. It's totally up to you. But once it's all shiny, it's done. And you might say, oh, well, how do I know? I often take it and hold it under a light and twist it. If I see some powder, I just heat it back up again. That's as easy as peasy. Easy peasy, I guess you could say. So I'll put that over there so it doesn't burn me or anybody else. Now this is got a bit of powder on it. It just wipes off like that. And we're going to bring in the Nested Essentials. So these have all these great shapes. We've used this one a lot, but we haven't used this a lot. And I'm going to go the third one in from the outside, and maybe I can pick it up. And we're going to go like that. and run it through the Stamp and Cut and Emboss machine. So we'll just bring this in, put that there. I could live dangerously, but I'm going to just put a little bit of removable tape down to hold it in place. There we go. And run it through. And what I really like about these dies is they not only cut, but they do stitch lines kind of thing. So it just adds even more interest and texture and all that good stuff. So I always peel slowly when I'm removing the removable tape, just in case it's stuck. So now we have that done, just like that. And we're going to start to make our card. We have one more thing to do with the Stamp and Cut and Emboss machine. I got a little carried away there, putting it away. We're going to emboss this white piece. Now we could, another option would be, is to put this down first and then emboss, but this time I'm just going to emboss with this. So I'm going to use the Basics 3D embossing folder. The Basics are online exclusives, and they come in a package of 3 embossing folders that I have found I've used and used and used. So I'm using this black line to help me line it up so my polka dots aren't going sideways. Getting rid of some of my, oh, just about dropped everything on the floor. Wouldn't that have been fun? So now I've gone down to platform 1. I'm going to put the embossing folder in fold side first, and I'm going to use specialty plate 4. But because this is a 3D embossing folder, you need that specialty plate. And it works like a charm. So let's get rid of some of this stuff. Take this out and look at that. Isn't that great? Or I could use the debossed side, either one. So as I'm getting ready, so should I use the debossed side or the embossed side? EM or DE? Debossed or embossed? Which one should I use? While you're doing that, I will embossed is what I saw first. Okay, so I'm going to start to build my card. Now the thing to remember when you do cut things out of here, don't put glue on this one that's going to fit in there. So I'm going to go on the edges here, and I'm not going to do my swoop through the middle that I tend to do so often, just because it feels good, not because I need to, because this glue holds very, very well. And then I'm going to put it together like that, and you're going to see that this is just an easy peasy card. So now I'm going to, I could put this on dimensionals, but I'm not going to. I'm going to glue it right down. Now I can put glue in the middle. And like that. Look at those colors together. Don't they just pop? I find the white makes everything else pop somehow, to me anyway. And then this is going to go right down the middle. And I should likely have done that before I glued it together because it's just a smidge too long. I will just cut a smidge off. If I had done it before putting it down, I could have used my white as my guide, but ooh, I got lucky and did it just right. Now, if you find that sometimes when you're using your paper trimmer and you cut and it seems to have a raised ridge, it's no big deal. Just take your bone folder, run it over it, and then it's nice and smooth again. That's just a little tip, just kind of going sideways on my talking here. There we go. So now we're going to put this down the middle, like that. And I just eyeball it, because by the time I'm finished, it's not going to matter if it's totally in the middle or not. So then we're going to bring in this piece here. This is from the same designer paper. When you use pieces from the same designer paper, you know that they're going to look good together, like pretty much guaranteed. So that's why I stuck with the same designer paper, and yet it really, really uses up some of the scraps you might have, because these are pieces that you just might have in there. So now we're going to put these here. You see how it's all coming together? So before I stick this down, I'm actually going to stick this to there, and I'm going to use my seal. You certainly can use your green glue. I just happen to like to use my seal when I'm working with vellum. It's just a personal hang up. So there we go. Just kind of roughly center it like that. And as you know, the reason I did that is because adhesive shows through vellum, but I know now that I can put adhesive here, so you can see it showing through, and no one's going to see. And I'm also going to use dimensionals, so that's all good too. I'll just keep them in this area here. So we'll put some dimensionals down. Whoops, don't need any more than that. There we go. Oh. And we'll bring this in. You see how it's coming together? I really love this layout and how versatile it is. So we've got that. Now how can we dress it up? Before we start to dress it up, I've got these two pieces. I'm going to put them on the inside. Just to have that done in case I feel like I want to dress up the inside while I'm dressing up the outside. So there we go. We had a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator event, a Canadian one here on Saturday, Friday night and Saturday, and it was just so good to be back together with other demonstrators, and we learned so much. And Genevieve Coe, who's the what they call Demonstrator Development Manager, anyway, she's the head person in Canada. She was there, and it was super great. Okay, how can we dress this up even more? I mean, it looks pretty good here, and you could definitely leave it like that. One of the things we did at the event on Saturday in the afternoon was had a shoebox swap. And for my shoebox swap, I ended up cutting a whole bunch of stars, and my shoebox swap used this paper from this set here. So I thought, I've got extras. Why don't I use them for tonight? Now you might say, where did you get those stars? Well, I like to go on a punch hunt or a die hunt and see what I have. And the Give It a Whirl dies has clouds, it has hearts, it has stars. And that's where I got all these different sizes. See, they have 3 different sizes, 2 dies. So very quickly, I was able to die cut just all kinds, and then I put them in containers, and people could use whatever color they wanted. So I'm going to bring these in and my Take Your Pick tool. I'm so excited. Did you see in the catalog that there's a new Take Your Pick tool? Some new attachments for it, and I've just got mine, so I'm anxious to play with it. I'll have to do a class with it one of these days, as soon as I get a chance to play with it. So let's see if I like what I'm doing here. Now, do I want dark pink, berry burst, or do I want, oh, that one gets lost. I think I want berry burst down here. Are you guys liking it so far? And there's actually a tinier one. Maybe this one is too big. Let's just see. Let's try this size here and this size. Yeah, you know what? I think I like the smaller size. So let's go with that. Definitely we can do whatever. And when I'm putting small embellishments on a card, I take my multi-purpose liquid glue and I just put the glue right on the card and then stick the small die cut piece or punched piece down. For me, that is way easier than trying to put glue on the piece. So there we go. Oh, I said I was going to do the inside, right. So we have this piece of scrap, so we could put this on the inside. We also have some stars. Shouldn't have put the lids on. Let's see. I think I might do that. Maybe just leave it at that. So just ties it all together, and then it's ready for me to stamp a greeting on whenever I feel like it, whenever I need a card. Today was one of those days I needed a card in short order. Went through my stash, and there it was. So there we've got our card. Now there is one more thing we could add if we wanted, just putting the lids on, and that is some of these embellishments. But whoops, that one fell off. I'm not so sure that we need them with the stars. Maybe one. Let's see. Let's try one. These are called the Tinsel Gems 4-pack, and they have these 4 different colors. The colors are Pretty Peacock, Blueberry Bushel, Berry Burst, and Lemon Lime Twist. But they go really well with this designer paper. We could do, what do you think? Should I stop there? Yeah, I better. I could get carried away here. So there is the card. Now, you know I've been on the kick lately where I do my little Stampin' Up thing on the back. I'm going to bring in Berry Burst. So that, not Berry Burst, Bubble Bath. And stamp that. I could have stamped anything I wanted, and I had another little scrap of paper, so I'm going to put that there, and then I think we've got our card done. Then I'll show you a couple of other cards too. There we go, just like that. So can you see yourself making a card like this? I hope so. Now you might say, well, I always have a hard time figuring out what to do with other papers or that kind of thing. So I have another card, exactly the same layout, but it's a masculine card, most definitely. It's made with the fishing one. So here it is right here. So you can see I've got this paper here, I've got the embossed here. Look at this embossing folder. Look at that. I just got it. It's called the Twisted Rope embossing folder. And I am just loving it. And here you can see it went on a metallic, what it looks like. So it would look like, doesn't look just like twisted rope. To me, it could also be kind of like sand or whatever, but it's a great embossing folder. So the vellum, everything, this is the same, even the same stamp set. And I cut the fish out by hand, just tied a knot and some twine and pretended that they were just hanging there. So there is, and then I put some of the fish down here because I haven't got the stamp set yet, and did that on the back. So there is totally the same layout, just using different designer paper. So feel free to start to play with your designer paper, especially your scraps like this, and have some fun with it. So that is my video for tonight, and I hope that's inspired you. I hope you use this layout, and if you do, I would love for you to post it. And if you're making some pink cards, be sure to post them too. All right. I think that's it for tonight. Remember, if you were wishing you had registered for the One Horse Open Sleigh class, where did it go? I am extending it just a day or two more because so many people have contacted me today and I can get the materials. So we can easily do that. I've got it almost ready to go. I'm in the process of videoing it right these days. So thanks for joining me. Have fun with the pink or not with the pink, and take care, everyone. Bye-bye.